Good afternoon, everybody. We're back. I'm back from the foot doctor. No, he didn't saw my foot off. I still have it, thankfully. Things were quite interesting, though. Going in and finding out my doctor left the practice, and I was meeting a new doctor today. That was quite interesting.
Surprise!
And they didn't bother to tell me that when I scheduled, so that was fun. Right now, we're currently parked at the Canal Path in Northampton. So we're gonna go for a drive, go get some food, and chit chat. So I hope you're having a good afternoon and staying cool in this very warm summer day.
That's lousy that your doctor just disappeared.
I know, and they didn't even call me. It's just like, wow, okay. And my doctor didn't even call me, which is kind of sad because he was really good.
I wonder if he couldn't.
I'm guessing so. I know when this happened to my cardiologist at the other health network, he couldn't tell me where he was going.
Doctors have become employees.
Yeah. I think it's the grip of health networks. The chokehold, I guess, would be a better way of describing it, that health networks have over their doctors. But it's a shame.
It is a shame. I remember...
I've been with him for a long time. I mean, I love the new doctor's awesome, so don't get me wrong. I like the new doctor, but...
Well, this is actually a small independent practice, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, they do have affiliations for, doing surgery and such.
So I wonder, was he a partner in that practice?
I don't know. There is a whole bunch of doctors, so I'm not sure.
So this is Northampton Park on the right.
Yeah, they got some nice park benches. And
Can't see the canal, but I think it's just on the other side of those trees along that path.
Yeah, it's a bit overgrown.
Which is not too far from here.
Oh, they got some cool exercise activities you can do along the path. That's cool. Oh, there's the canal. I can see it. Unfortunately, you guys can't see it on the stream.
There's no really good spot to see it, is there? Is that the canal or is that the river?
It might actually. That's probably the river.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, because of the bridge. Remember the big iron bridge? It's really just the canal path. I guess is what they call the path.
I don't know if we get a good view of the river. We can go look.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and also my copay went up too, so that was interesting.
So even though it's a St. Luke's building now, this place isn't part of it.
Yeah, they just have it's weird. It's kind of like a primary care office, but they use a few of their rooms, but they only use it a few days a week, so they're not there all the time. I'm not sure exactly how many days a week or whatever, but the reason I came to this location rather than the Allentown is the Allentown one, they were always running an hour and a half behind. I was just tired of wasting an hour and a half.
Revolutionary War flag.
Oh yeah.
And 13. Well, the initial flag of the United States, rather.
That's so cool. But yeah, I started coming in the Northampton location because they were more on time. The Allentown location, they were always at least an hour behind, which was annoying. Their waiting room would become standing room only, literally. And when you're going to a foot doctor for a foot issue, the last thing you want to be doing is standing. So, wooden playground, some swings. Oh, they got a pirate ship with cannons. That's cool. I would love that if I was a kid. The D&L Canal Street Park on your right. They got picnic tables, baseball diamond, fields. It's a nice park. locations here.
Lock 34. So there must be a canal there. Lehigh River Canal.
Yeah, we got some of it roped off. Got really warm since this morning.
Oncoming traffic does not stop. So I guess we can still go straight?
I think it curves to the right.
I don't know. We'll find out.
We're on an adventure, guys. There's a bridge.
The Hockendakwa Creek.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Put that on a spelling bee list. I remember being in 8th grade. Yeah, 7th or 7th grade, I think. We had to spelling bee stuff in 7th grade, and I ended up being the runner-up for my class. And I told the guy, Juan Curtis, I was like, please do not be absent on the day that we do the school spelling bee. I really do not want to go up on the stage.
Did he beat you?
Yeah, I was the runner-up because you had to have a runner-up in case your class, like if you got sick or whatever and you couldn't make it. So we both got the spelling books that we had to study, and they would test us every week running up to the spelling bee. And it was an interesting experience, I'm not going to lie, but I was terrified of public speaking, so I wasn't looking forward to the day. So, but since he was very competitive, he was the guy next to my locker, and we always were very competitive people, so he made sure not to be absent. And I was glad. I was like, yeah, I don't have to go up there. I'm not a terrible speller, but I'm not good with words that I don't normally use a lot, you know? That typically tends to be words that are in spelling bees or words that you aren't commonly using every day.
We can't see over the concrete to see the river.
No, that's sad. I guess we should have gone back to the Iron Bridge.
Welcome to Copley.
They have a giant fish tank in the waiting room now.
I like those.
It was really cool. I was checking the fishies out. They have some what look like goldfish. I don't know if they're minnows or something else. Spadefish, and two that kind of look like catfish, like small versions of catfish. But I like the architecture. They had it set up, kind of reminded me of Greece. You know, you got the ancient pillars, and like the head of Caesar, I think it is.
Yeah.
That's what they had as like the decor in the tank. It was fascinating. Probably cost a lot of money though, because it's in like a fancy cabinet.
No mask?
Yeah.
Yay!
Unfortunately, the workers have to, which is lousy. Hey, American Girl. Yeah, things went well. It was interesting. I got in there and found out my doctor left the practice. So that was quite the surprise.
And you liked him too.
Yeah. So now I have a new
good.
doctor. But he seems pretty good, so I'm not too worried. I'm a little shocked that the practice didn't bother to tell me that. I mean, when they scheduled me for my old doctor. And yeah, so that was interesting. We went down on the down towards the canal park afterwards. That's where we went live. So if you rewind it later, you'll be able to see a little bit of the park. They have a nice park there in Northampton. You can walk along and see the river, and there's some cool exercises for adults, and then they have a really cool playground for kids. They even got a pirate ship, which is really cool. So right now we're just driving towards lunch.
Going west, we're in Copley, or we just left Copley. We're back in Whitehall Township. I don't really know for sure where this road goes.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute, it's Chestnut Street. I know where that goes. That takes us back to MacArthur Road, where we turned onto it from the traffic light.
Yeah, we don't go this way very often, so the roads are a little bit more unfamiliar to us.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I'm wrong. It says no outlet. So.
I was gonna say, I think it might be a different Chestnut.
I guess so. Oh, okay. Which way do we go now?
Left?
I guess we can try left.
I don't know. Definitely not straight.
What's in the way over there that it doesn't
There's
go through?
I see some big towers over there on the
Yeah,
road.
that's WAEB AM.
I don't know how many there are. I see at least 3, 4? 4 big towers.
Park Street. Does it go anywhere?
No outlet.
Oh, just to the park, I guess.
Well, we can see the towers.
Yeah, I don't know what's in the way between here and MacArthur Road.
5 towers. They're really tall. I can't believe how tall they are. So this is the Ironton Rail Trail.
Okay.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had a rail trail.
Ironton Rail Trail. Yeah.
Cool. They actually have a map for all the trails. Cool. I honestly feel we need to bring railroads back. I mean, I like rail trails, don't get me wrong, but we need more railroads because as much as I love the truckers and the convoys, there's a lot of trucks on the roads and they're damaging the roads. Like really, really bad with all their weight.
You've got a huge amount of truck traffic here. All the warehouses that have been built.
The whole northeast corridor is rough. The amount of truck traffic. I mean,
All right.
what is it? They say like where we live, like you can get to like how many states in like 2 days?
A lot.
Yeah, we're like the hub, the distribution hub for a lot of states.
2 day shipping to the tip of Maine and I guess to Florida.
Yeah. American Girl says I agree. Rail is important. Yeah, I feel like we're underusing our railroads, and the railroads can handle the weight.
It's very fuel efficient too.
Strive for Greatness says it's less money in. I'm not sure what that word is.
Here's where the Ironton Rail Trail crosses this road.
Oh yeah, cool.
All right, so this takes us through to MacArthur Road.
I'm not sure how you pronounce that word, Strive for Greatness. It says POKIFICIFP. I'm not sure what that is. I mean, I know you can't eliminate all trucks because you still got to do the deliveries and stuff, but you could probably eliminate some of them.
So there's 5 towers here.
Yeah, I can see 3 of them on the screen. I would not want to be a painter who has to climb up there to paint that. I don't do well with heights.
It's a big AM directional array. 790.
There's a reason tower workers get paid a lot of money to change light bulbs. You gotta have Hands of steel.
For a while, they were only operating with 4 towers, so they must have replaced it finally. It's a big 5 inline tower array. A vandal cut the guy wires and brought one of the towers down.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. That's scary.
They didn't like the conservative radio programming.
This is around the guy wires now. Strive for Greatness says, sorry, I meant less money in government pockets and more towards highway infrastructure. Ah, okay. I wondered if somehow you accidentally just hit the keyboard and it hit enter before you were ready. It kind of looked that way.
Yeah, like that infrastructure bill that went into mostly into people's pockets.
Yeah.
Rather than an actual infrastructure.
Well, look at Pennsylvania. We have one of the highest gas taxes in our roads. A lot of our roads suck. I mean, we jokingly or lovingly call it Potsylvania, you know, because of all the potholes that are on our roads. I mean, this one's nice, but a lot of the major roads that people use. American Girl says there's plenty of work to go around, and Strive for Greatness is like, yep, that's what happened. I did. Was typing and it hit send before they were ready. Yeah, it's so easy to do that. I've done that.
It's one of the quarry entrances here, I think.
Oh yeah, neat. There's another Whitehall Parkway recreation area. Some more hiking trails. And picnic tables in the shade. That's cool. The corn looks half decent here. Looks a little dry, but at least it's green. The corn near our house is very brown. I'm praying that we get the rain they're calling for, the storms this afternoon or evening, because we need it. American Girl says, yep, blew a tire in a rest area in Pennsylvania on the way home from Hagerstown. Oh, that sucks. That's never fun. Oh, there's your sign for Egypt. We're back on the...
I think we've done a loop.
Yeah, back on Ruxville Road. Yeah, Pennsylvania is also notorious for taking bridges out and then leaving them out for years. I remember the one on, what was it, 143?
Yeah, 143.
Near Virginville. It was out for, what was it, 10 years?
I don't know. They put a temporary bridge in, and that was starting to wear out.
Yeah, so the temporary bridge was blowing out with potholes and stuff, and that's when they finally decided to fix the original bridge. It was bad. But we're notorious as a state. We'll take out these little, because there's a lot of farm roads and stuff. We'll take out these little bridges that most people are like, oh, it's a little bridge, no big deal. But if you're a local, you lose some of these little bridges. You kind of lose your way to get home. And they'll be out for years, it feels.
It seems like the backlog has gotten better, though, in the last couple of years.
Yeah. It seems to be hit or miss depending where you are.
Maybe that's what the high gas tax is actually going for nowadays.
Michelle says, hello from Schuylkill Haven. Hello, Michelle.
We were just through Schuylkill Haven on Saturday.
Yeah.
Went up that way to go to the rally.
In Bloomsburg. Top plant. It smells like blacktop.
Freshly made.
That stuff that they put on it, the coating. Are you going to Wilkes-Barre on Saturday? No, we're not.
That's the Trump rally, isn't it?
Yeah. I had a lot of friends asking me to go, but unfortunately, if I were to go, it probably would set my health back too much, and it's not worth the risk. I have limited mobility with my ongoing leg issues and feet issues. I don't want to set myself back.
Yeah, Trump rallies are all-day affairs.
It's a lot of standing and a lot of walking. We were fortunate enough to see him when he came and visited in October on Halloween in 2020. Had to think about it for a second.
It was right before the election.
Yeah, it was right before the election, and we were watching some Breitbart News coverage, and we kind of got the lay of the land of what it looked like, and we were hemming and hawing about going, because my dad's like, no, you don't, it's like, we want to go, but he knew it was going to be really hard on me, and I was like, I can do it with my scooter, Dad, I can do it. And we saw the lay of the land, and I was like, there's sidewalk, we might be able to do it. So we got in the car, drove up, got off the highway, and the officer asked, like, are you here to see the president? It's like, well, we'd like to, because we were hoping to at least see Air Force One come in, because he was coming in our small airport.
And there's an Oz sign.
He's coming into our small airport in Reading with Air Force One, which is a huge deal, because it's a small airport. So we got on a bus, on the last bus going to the rally. Got there, I scootered my way up the hill. It was kind of hard. Got through security. Secret Service was absolutely amazing, though. We didn't have to wait really at all to get through security, which was nice. No, we knew, getting there, we wouldn't be able to get any seats or anything, because people literally camp out the night before. But with my scooter, I could at least sit on it, so I wouldn't have to stand. The people were sweet. They let me go up to the fence to take photos. So, everybody was so nice. So then we got to see Air Force One come in, because Trump was late. And that was really cool. We got to see him land and then come off the plane. That was awesome. The speech was great. And then we actually stayed, because, getting out of a Trump rally is an hours-long affair. We stayed and watched Air Force One take off, and then just chatted with people on the way out. There was a whole bunch of Japanese Americans that were there showing their support, and people from Japan as well. It was really cool to see that. They made homemade signs and everything. And then we took a bus back to the parking lot and went home. It was really cool. Yeah, it's a huge day. I mean, I paid for it. I was wiped out for a few days, but Wilkes-Barre would be a lot more wiping out, I feel. I don't know the lay of the land there, and I don't want to risk it.
It just kind of worked out that we got there late, but everybody had already gotten in.
Yeah.
Everybody was inside already waiting for the president, and so it was real breeze getting there and going through security.
Yeah.
So you only had to stand for the rally itself.
Well, I didn't stand. I used my scooter to sit on.
It was more of a wait getting out to get. There was quite a wait to get back on a bus.
Because you'd be exactly sit, because I'd be rolling down the hill. So going up a hill, it's a little different than going down. You can prevent yourself from going down easier when you're going up a hill than going down a hill, because you got to keep the brakes on. So it was a really neat experience. I definitely recommend, if anybody, if you're into going to the rally, go for it if you can. It's definitely a very unique experience, and I don't think it's one you'll regret. Definitely take lots of photos. You'll definitely want to remember it. And it was great. I met people from New Jersey that came to our Pennsylvania rally.
I was just thinking we should go.
No outlet.
Yeah, I know. I want to turn around, actually.
Oh, where are we going?
I want to go through the railroad tunnel.
Oh, there's a railroad tunnel?
Well, it's sort of a tunnel. It's pretty neat.
So yeah, I would say God was looking out for us that day, for us to be able to go to that rally and have beautiful weather, because he had gone to Wilkes-Barre that same day, or the next day or something, I forget. And it poured on them. I felt so bad for them. because we were debating about which one to go to. And
Yeah, I don't remember if it was before or after.
Or was it the Allentown one?
Oh, that was the Allentown one, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was the Allentown one you got poured on. So it was the Wilkes-Barre one we didn't go to because we weren't sure of the lay of the land because of the parking. It was up on a hill. It was up on a mountain.
The Allentown, the weather wasn't very good.
So we got really lucky. The weather was beautiful when we went. It was cloudy, peaks of sun, it wasn't too hot, it wasn't raining. So yeah, it was neat. I'd say you felt like you could be a normal person. Like you didn't have to like wear a shell, I guess. You could just be yourself.
You didn't have to stand in circles inside a gymnasium.
Yeah. And I felt like you could talk about almost anything that you wanted to talk about. And people were talking about almost anything and everything in the lines coming out.
Right.
Which was a cool experience for us because we missed all that going in, so.
Did they call them super spreader events?
Yeah. I'll be happy to inform you guys, neither one of us got sick. And I definitely am not the healthiest person with all my ongoing health issues. No, we didn't like lick our fingers or anything like that. We obviously used hand sanitizer and, you know, the basic hygiene. So, and follow the rule, you know, if you don't feel well, don't go out. But, you know, common sense things. Ooh, that's bumpy.
You mentioned scenic, so try to do something scenic. Okay, that guy's turning, so we should be all right.
I got some really nice comments on my Planet Walk video. Someone from California watched it and really, really enjoyed it, which is cool. Because they're also having a drought apparently in California, and the lady said she was really grateful to see water in the lake, see the wildlife, the birds. That was so peaceful. That was a really cool experience. I'm glad we did that.
Yeah, that was fun.
And I'm glad we did it when we went up to tour the horse arena because after the rally I was fried.
Yeah,
I would not have felt like
it was a much hotter
going.
day. Although I guess it was pretty hot when the sun was out too at the lake, but
Yeah.
we had some weather. We missed it, but it definitely cooled things off.
Gave us a bit of a breeze, which was nice. Yeah, American Girl. I agree. She's like, awesome job. Right. Don't feel well, get some rest. Yep, that's my motto.
Hopefully we don't lose service when we go through the tunnel.
Hopefully not. It's been pretty stable today.
Coming up, there's a railroad overpass. We're going to go under that. That's going to be the railroad that we go under again through what is really a very high arch bridge, but it's like a tunnel because it's so big. And, the rail line is considerably elevated because it's crossing the Jordan Creek. So we're going down to the Jordan Creek now, so we're going to lose all this elevation. So the railroad tried to stay level, so it has to span the creek at a pretty high elevation, and it makes a very impressive bridge.
Is that the Parkland School, Tammy says? Yes, it is. Iron Bridge Road. It's a sharp turn. It's shady though. Shade.
So we just crossed the Jordan Creek. We're going to follow it for a little bit. Then we got to go under the railroad.
I forgot about this tunnel. It's been a while since we've gone under it. Can we stop right here? Just so I can focus the camera? There's double tunnel. There's actually 3 of them.
Yeah, the 2 tunnels on the right are for the river.
Yeah. Oh, it's reflecting. It's very neat.
That's a single track rail line too.
I like the stone barn too. The quart's pretty tall here. It's like 5 feet.
Yeah,
It's almost as tall as me. Oh, it might be taller.
not
than
as
me.
dry. It was definitely a hit or miss with thunderstorms this summer.
Yeah.
We seem to be. Usually we think it's lucky to miss the storms, but we got so lucky with missing the storms that it became a drought.
Yeah. Basically from like mid-July through almost all of August, we didn't get any rain. We've only had 3 rains. Occasionally we'll get like a raindrop or 2, and then that would be it. Because the running joke used to be where we live, anything over 15% chance of precipitation on the hourly meant we were guaranteed to get it. And then it went to the other extreme. Oh, look, there's the covered
How
bridge.
about a covered bridge?
I love covered bridges. This is the Jordan Creek. Oh, there's a park here on the left, too.
Yeah, we'll turn around and go back through it. Continue the other way.
Nice.
There is actually what they call a covered bridge tour. There was a little sign for it. I've never actually taken it, and I don't know how complete the signs are.
I did pick up a covered bridge pamphlet at the Montier Preserve. I know that was more for that area,
Yeah.
but it looked really cool. But as I was saying, like with the rain, it got to the point where, you know, we'd have 90% chance of rain showers or storm, and we never got it, or we'd only get a few pitter raindrops. Clearance 9 feet 6 inches. Guts Bridge. This is so cool. I love the architecture. Got a car.
Yeah. You're good. Thanks.
Jeremiah says, "What's going on?" We're driving home from my doctor's appointment, giving you guys some rural Pennsylvania sightseeing. We just went through a tunnel and covered bridge, and just kind of chatting.
Just a few miles west of Allentown, so we're really not that far out. But years ago, this was still pretty rural.
American Girl says, "Wow, so cool." Yeah, I know, right? I love it. We have a covered bridge near our house that they actually remodeled. They had to do repairs on it because it was getting a bit weather worn.
They actually tore it out and took it to wherever they repair covered bridges.
Yeah, it was really cool. They did an awesome job on it. That one, I probably would have to record and upload later though, because the service there is non-existent. I never have cell service there. Jeremiah says, to think that they made these by hand with no power tools. I know, right? It's amazing. Mary Girl says, "Thanks, guys. It's a beautiful covered bridge."
Yeah, that one looks well maintained.
And they do a great job with the painting on it. I think the red paint just looks really nice. Tammy says, I had no clue that that was there, referring to the Parkland School. I just recognized the school entrance. The High Valley. And it was cut off, so I'm not sure what else she wrote.
Yeah, it's a relatively new school. Maybe 10 years now it's been there. Maybe more with time, the way time flies.
Good afternoon, Kent. Kent says, afternoon from Alabama. Oh, if you go right, we get to experience a classic Pennsylvania road closed.
Which road is closed, I wonder? I guess this road is.
Yep.
Well, I was thinking of going left anyway, so I guess it works out.
It's probably a bridge, I'm guessing. Open to Tall Timber Nursery.
We're going to cross that railroad that we went under with that huge bridge.
The tunnel.
The tunnel, yeah.
The tunnel is neat.
You see it's only a single lane. It's a very old rail line. It's just a spur.
Tammy says, are you familiar with Little Gap? There's another covered bridge there.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that is though.
I'd have to look it up. I'm not sure where that bridge is. I know there's a lot of bridges in Pennsylvania. Covered bridges.
I was just listening to the radio. It's mentioning Alabama, that the amount of illegal aliens that have come across the border since the regime took power is equal to the population of Alabama.
Wow. That's a lot. I saw that they're busing them into New York and they can't build a shelter fast enough or whatever to house them. So as we were saying 5 minutes ago, the corn looked good. Now look at this corn. This corn looks very brown.
Looks a little drier, yeah.
And shorter in some spots.
Well, maybe not here so much. Yeah, I guess it's a bit browner than the others were.
Yeah. So it's really hit or miss with the rain. I know first responder Joe was covering things at the border in Arizona. I don't know if he's still doing that or if he's headed home.
That's right, he was covering that.
His friend Anthony was also covering it, and apparently they exposed some things that were going on. No turn on red, no turn on red.
Oh, thanks. I was just gonna go.
I know, but there's a sign. As I was saying, they exposed something with children at the border, and he lost his Cash App over it for exposing the truth, which is sad.
Huh. Wow.
And he also I think he lost his YouTube, or got put in jail or something on YouTube.
So if we talk about the border invasion, we get censored now too?
Probably. Kent says, that's 4.3 million people here in Alabama. Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, I think that was the number they were talking about. 4 million, I think. Something like that. About 4 million too many.
It's a shame. We really should be taking care of the people that we have, our veterans.
This one I can make it right on red.
Yeah, it's clear.
But it's not.
American Girl says, yeah, I watched the video. It's crazy. Yeah, it is. It's a shame. It's a shame to see our country falling apart the way it is.
And it's by design. Here's that railroad again.
We're going to have a trivia contest at the end, right? How many times did we cross the railroad? I've kind of lost count myself.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm doing that deliberately. We're heading in that general direction, so we end up kind of following the rail line.
Yeah. American Girl says, yeah, shows at Yuma, Arizona. Over 400 plus people every night. Yeah, it's insane. And they're getting help, too. On both sides. I know some people may not like this, but I don't think we should be helping foreign countries either. You know, let foreign countries solve their problems. Like all the aid that we sent to Ukraine, I don't think we should have done that.
It's a complicated subject.
I know.
I can't help but think that was more to benefit the industrial complex that manufactures the weapons.
Yeah. Denise says, a million years ago, I taught cheerleading camp at Blue Mountain Sports Camp in Allentown. This Florida girl lived there. Oh, nice. Loved it there, I meant.
Blue Mountain Sports Camp.
I'm not sure where that is. I'll have to look that up. I really loved going to camp growing up. I loved going to Girl Scout camp, and then I got into field hockey in middle school, so then I went to field hockey camp during middle school and high school, which I really loved because those tended to be on college campuses, so it was kind of cool to check out colleges that way while also playing the sport that I loved. The Girl Scout camp was probably my favorite. Jeremiah says, it's to benefit the big guy. The aid packages that we've passed. American Girl says, I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, Ukraine's pretty much the corruption capital of the world.
It's where the politicians launder their money, right?
Yep.
This is Blue Barn Road.
And that's politicians on both sides. They both do it.
That's why we need a grassroots effort to purge the establishment.
That's one of the things, the Pennsylvania grassroots are trying to do is basically say, we're not really with any party. We're basically a unified party, Americans trying to fix our country. Yeah, we tend to be more conservative, but there's people on both sides.
Wow, it's becoming a city out here.
Yeah, I didn't realize they built all these houses back here.
I don't recall seeing this the last time. I know it's been getting built up. I used to like to ride my bike on this road. My bicycle.
I wouldn't want to ride a bicycle on the roads these days. People scare me with the way they drive.
Where I used to live, this was going the opposite direction, was a good way northward. I used to like to ride up along the Jordan Creek. Some pretty good hills here and there to get there, but then once you got along the creek, it was nice. Here's that railroad again. There's actually, I don't know what they call it, as a siding. There's a number of tracks. I don't know if we can see them on the right. You might be able to see them out your window, but
yeah, there's
at least another set there for siding.
Jeremiah says, and those darn Trump drivers, what are we going to do with them driving on rural routes? Well, we definitely need to bring more trains back, I feel. I know you're joining a little late, Jeremiah. We were talking about earlier about bringing back the trains so we have less trucks on the road. And I know you're a truck driver, so don't get mad at me. But we were referring to, how...
Is everybody waiting for me here?
Apparently. The Northeast is really like the hub for like 2-day shipping for much of the country, like, on the East Coast, and how it's damaging the roads. Like, obviously we still need truck drivers to do deliveries, but we could probably use trains to help lessen the impact on the roads, the damage.
So we're going through a whole bunch of things here. The light was one of the old 22s. The next crossing was another old 22. This is another 22, the newer one, and this is 78. All within a few hundred feet.
Normally we don't get through that light on green. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
It's always nailing us. Jeremiah says, there's no railroad tracks in the back of any Walmart. Just saying. Well, that's why I say, like, you still need your delivery trucks. Like, I'm thinking more of, like, the warehouses to warehouses. Like, you could do rail lines. Obviously, I don't have this all planned out. It's just speaking things on the mind. That you might be able to do, you know, bigger lines to bigger warehouses to save on traffic. But
There used to be a few barns out here, and at some point, the farmer painted them blue, and that's how this road got its name.
Blue Barn Road.
The barns are long gone, though.
Tammy says 22 is a scary road. Always accidents. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we just crossed like 3 generations of Route 22 and then Interstate 78, all on a very short stretch of road.
I don't look forward to driving on 22. That's not something I want to really do. It's really bad during rush hour.
Got a little bit better when 78 was finished, because a lot of the through truck traffic then stayed on 78. But 78 is such a rough road for trucks, because you're crossing South Mountain twice, and I don't know, just that seems like such a hassle, having to drag yourself up those hills.
Yeah, especially when you're loaded. Park closed for spraying. They're spraying the park? Why? I'll never understand that. Jeremiah says, not that I know the answer to this question, but are you aware of how much federal funding a rover at all where you receives? Do you mean like a rover going to space? Or do you mean like a railroad? Either way, I don't know the answer to the question. I have no idea how much funding they get.
This house right here on our right was the only house along this road 30 years ago.
Yeah, it's got a lot of new neighbors.
First time I went through on this road, it was dirt.
Oh, doing talk to text. That's what's going on. He was asking how much does the railroad, federal funding does the railroad receive? I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up.
Who knows?
I know we still have railroads in Hamburg that are active. I don't know what they're shipping on them, however. We should ask our friend who's into railroads if he knows what the different lines are carrying. Because I know he likes to go out and record them passing by. Maybe he knows more.
We're meandering our way to Trexlertown. Air Products built a new headquarters. They've abandoned their old site.
Yeah, I can't believe they're not using the old one anymore.
They owned a lot of the land up ahead. I think they decided they could get more money out of the land than they could with anything else.
Yeah. I believe your sister said that the guy saw dollar signs with the land, so he sold it.
Uline put in a huge facility up here.
Yeah, it's massive. I think, is there two things? Is it Uline and somebody else, or is it all Uline?
I just went under Route 222, which actually was an original 22, so that's even another variant. Today what we call Old 22 is actually State Highway 43 when it was built. And 22 itself went through Reading.
Well, there's a hotel there too. I didn't realize they built a hotel.
That's the, up ahead is the the new Air Products high-rise.
It's a lot of glass. Tammy says, I know where the Trexler Nature Preserve is. Oh yeah, we've been there. I haven't been there in a long time though. Trexler Nature Preserve.
Used to be able to drive across the Jordan Creek. The water actually flowed across a concrete, it was kind of like a wall, but it was wide enough it was for road. You could drive through the creek when you're in the preserve.
Well, it's all Uline. I didn't realize it was all Uline. It's massive. Tammy says, I have a friend who works for Air Products. Yeah, we do too.
Yeah, he was telling us how that building is all very much automatic control. Like the elevators don't have buttons to select the floor. You just tell it what floor you want to go to.
That just creeps me out. I don't like that at all. I don't think I would like going on an elevator that has no buttons. I'm not a big fan of heights, so elevators, like, I'm not afraid of elevators, but I don't think I'd like an elevator with no buttons. Because then I feel like I'm trapped.
Uline's hiring.
Yeah. All these trees are turning yellow with all the drought.
Yeah, this is old 222. This stretch of 222 is lined with sycamore trees. It's really pretty.
Tammy says, that's creepy. I agree, Tammy. He was also talking about how they have a special, like, you can't eat food at your desk anymore because of the smells. And you can't, like, if you do have trash, like, you have to go into a special room to throw trash away that's got, like, these special ventilation systems. It sounded really weird.
No more funky lunchtime smells in the office.
Yeah, because I guess the one guy was making some kind of, I forget what kind of dish he said it was.
Some kind of spicy dish.
Yeah, and it would be very aromatic and, smell up the office. So. For this guy on the right.
Now he's gonna wait, maybe.
Yeah, I don't like the AI stuff coming in. I think it's more about control. I'm against it. I'm okay with regular elevators, but not smart elevators.
I don't remember. Did he say that they do thumbprints or something for access?
Yeah, like you can't get in, like getting in the building and stuff is weird. It's something with thumbprints and I don't know, ID or something. I don't know. It's weird.
Want to buy some tires?
I'm not sure tires would be a good lunch option.
Actually, we've got a tire that needs to get fixed. Not on this car, but...
That's right. It's on my brother's car. Jeremiah says, not picking, but say buttons 3 times. Say kittens after that. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be worried about the elevator, like, not letting you out of the elevator.
That's what he said was really freaky about it, is that you got in there, it's like there's no buttons.
Yeah.
So it's like, now what do I do?
Yeah, like, it reminds...
What happens if this thing doesn't work?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that movie. What was it called? You know the movie I'm talking about, where the elevator wouldn't let people out? The Contagion elevator. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh.
Resident Evil, I think is what it's called. And
That was the Umbrella Corporation building?
yeah, they had a contagion and it locked itself down and people went in there and
The zombie movie.
yeah. But they had creepy AI stuff in that.
So, yeah. Reality coming soon, right?
Was there stairs in the new Air Products building, did he say? I would hope so.
I'm guessing they have emergency stairs.
Yeah, I would
At
think
least.
because that'd probably be
I don't know.
a requirement in case there's fire. What kind of sandwich do you want?
Oh, I don't know. Were we both going in, or you want me to stay here?
Either way works. I can go in and order. I don't mind.
Oh, sure.
But I need to know what you want.
An Italian sandwich is good.
American Girl says, yes, I agree. Not getting out of an elevator, not good. Yeah. Alright, guys. I'm going to be back. I'm going to go grab you guys some Subway sandwiches. We're going to get some Subway sandwiches for lunch. But, Dad's going to stay in the car and chat with you guys while I go grab them. You want a foot long, right?
Sure.
Wheat or you want something else?
Yeah, the Italian bread's good.
Alright. Oil and vinegar. The seasonings.
Yeah. I like that.
Okie dokie.
Put some jalapenos on it.
I will do that.
We grew some jalapeno peppers last year, and then we pickled them. And I'm still working on that stash of jalapenos at home. Oh, it looks like we got some Subway fans. Love Subway. Subway yummy. Yeah, it's been a while since we've been to Subway. But this year with jalapenos, I only grew one plant because I figured I had so much left over that I didn't need to grow, I think, a half a dozen last year. It's been holding up okay with the drought. I kept it in a pot for quite a while before I actually put it out in the garden. But we expanded the garden for some more tomato plants and the soil wasn't so good. So I think that's what's made it hard for them this year. The peppers went in the old section where the soil is in better shape. Where are you guys at now? We're actually just outside of the town of Trexlertown on Old Route 222. We're actually right across the street from the old Air Products headquarters. Air Products just moved down the street about a mile. I think this might have been on the edge of what was originally the Trexlertown Airport, which I believe that went away back in the 70s. It got built up. This might have been actually part of their airfield. It's not far from where I grew up. I lived on 222 for a long time. But it just got to be too busy, too much traffic. And the zoning was commercial, so there was more and more commercial development. So back in the 80s, we decided to move a little bit more rural. I used to like to go for walks. From our place, you could walk west through the fields all the way to the property line of Air Products. We had a farmer on our north side. I think he had about 100 acres. So there was quite a bit of farmland here still up until really not that long ago. A lot of the stuff in this area got built in the last 5 to 10 years. Uline just came here a few years ago, a couple years ago. And Air Products just moved recently. So all that was still farmland up until then. Well, John says you lived in Macungie for a while. That's cool. Yeah, Macungie. I went to school, 6th grade I went to school at Shoemaker. I guess it's now maybe a middle school or elementary school, I'm not sure. But it was actually the first year that the school wasn't even completely finished. And I went to 6th grade there at that school in Macungie. In fact, the school wasn't ready at the beginning of the school year. I think we spent the first 2 weeks actually going to a day camp, Camp Olympic, which is not too far from Macungie. But we just had class there for a couple weeks because the school wasn't quite ready for occupancy. And I remember there was a little bit of there was a paved area outside the school. I don't remember if there was any playground equipment, but I just remember all the grass wasn't in. It was just all dirt. It hadn't grown in yet because it was all fresh construction. Yeah, you're talking about the farmland around this area that there used to be. And a lot of it's gone now. There's still a stretch of farmland between Truxturtown and Macungie, but there's a lot of warehouses going in there now too. They're just going in all over the place. I wouldn't have thought they would go in there because they're still a few miles away from 78, but there's a lot. If you know the Albertus area, if you lived in Macungie, there's some warehouses out that way now. And there's definitely some more development going on between Macungie and Truxturtown. So I expect that most of that farmland's all going to be gone in the next few years. It's kind of a shame. Yeah, there's definitely a lot more stuff now between Macungie and Albertus. And this whole area was pretty, was pretty nice. It's just, I think it's gotten a bit too crowded now. Sure, it's still nice relative to, say, moving from Philadelphia, where the density is even higher, but it's just gotten to be too busy. There's traffic everywhere. guess that's a common theme for those of us who are older. You see all this stuff change. You kind of miss the way it used to be. But I guess before it was farm fields, it was forest. So I guess it's just a matter of how far back you want to go. I always thought was neat about this stretch of old 222 is the sycamore trees. They started just up the street east of our house and then go all the way out to here, out to Trexlertown. They must have been planted when the highway was widened to 3 lanes. I don't know when that was. But even as a kid, I thought these trees looked pretty big. So they were probably a good 10, 20 years old even then. So I would guess these trees might go back to the 1950s. Looks like it's $4.06 a gallon here for regular gas at the Giant. The prices seem like they've been coming down here slowly over time. I don't know if that's because we're draining out our strategic reserve or if just prices are easing globally. I haven't been following the price of crude oil. Can't imagine how much it's going to cost to heat up, have home heating oil this winter. We get home heating oil at our place, but I try to supplement with wood heat. I got to do work on my stove too. It's really gotten used over the last 20 years. Some of the components in it are getting pretty warped. Our stove actually has a catalytic converter in it, which does seem to do a decent job. If you get the stove up to the right temperature, you got to keep it running pretty hot. But then it burns pretty clean. You definitely can tell. You smell less wood smoke once the catalytic converter kicks in. But I find it kind of hard to manage it. You're back.
I'm back. I got sandwiches, guys.
Let's talk about our wood stove.
Oh, nice.
Pellet stoves are nice, though. After seeing one in operation.
Oh, I love my brother's pellet stove. You can sleep in front of that thing. You know?
Just pour a bag of wood in, you're done.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how much a bag of pellets is going to be now.
Oh, good point.
I think at Tractor Supply, I think it was close to $6 a bag. which is not bad compared to what the price of oil is. You might want to stock up.
Yeah, maybe.
John said he lived in McCungy
Oh, really?
at one time.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, I hate to break it to you, but they're out of Italian stuff, apparently.
Oh.
So, I got you a ham and turkey.
Oh my goodness, that is a difference. So there's an Italian shortage, huh?
No, apparently, unfortunately, she's a one lady show today. So it's all in the back, and she just hasn't had time to get it prepped because she has no help.
No help.
Because it has to get chopped up, and she's got no help, and she has been busy all day long.
Where are all the workers?
I don't know, but she was really, really sweet. So she loaded the sandwiches up big time because of it. She felt really bad. Because they have two different Italians right now. They have Italian BMT and then they have a spicy Italian. I'm like, what's the difference? She's like, well, one uses spicy salami and spicy pepperoni and the other one doesn't. I was like, okay, well, let's go for spicy. She's like, well, it doesn't really matter which one because I'm out of both. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I couldn't see that. Normally you can see like the toppings and stuff, but they have like this plastic thing over that it makes it really hard to see through the case. So I couldn't see what she had. So, yeah.
Should have brought one of her bags of chips.
I know. I didn't think about it. American Girl says, no one wants to work. I also have a pellet stove. Very enjoyable. We're getting our pellets in 2 weeks. Oh, wow. Nice. I love the pellet stove, but I can't lift 40-pound bags of pellets. It's too heavy for me. It's the only downside. Pellets are heavy. No, I guess if you get them delivered, then you can, I guess scoop them out of a bin or something. Makes it easier.
Years ago, there was a trolley line between Allentown and Reading, and I believe it followed this road. And I believe the bridge we're going to go over, the infamous railroad again, we're going to cross. I believe that's how the trolley line crossed the other rail line.
John says, yeah, they want to get paid, just not the work part. Yeah. American Girl says, I use a scooper to scoop out the pellets. Okay. Yeah, I could see doing that. Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, maybe we can discuss this. Where are all the workers? I know a lot of people lost their jobs. The past overreaction the last few years. But it seems like so many places are asking for people to work for them, but nobody's applying. Why do you guys think that is? I mean, I know, John, you say it's because they want to get paid and not have to work. Yeah, I get that, but I thought in Pennsylvania we got rid of the incentives to not work. Like for a while, people were getting payments to stay at home, but I thought that was gone now. So I'm not sure what is causing it now. So if you guys have theories, I'm all ears. 'Cause we've been trying to figure it out, and we're not sure why.
So this is old Route 100, which would take you to McCungy, south of Trexlertown. That's South Mountain straight ahead.
American Girl says, enjoy your lunch. Thank you, Father in Heaven, for this wonderful food and all the love and hard work that went into it. Yes. Thank you. Amen. We're going to take them home to eat, I think, because we didn't come prepared with our chips. We forgot our gibbles.
Nibble with Gibbles.
Yes, we found some in our local Redner's, which was really cool because we discovered that Pennsylvania has Nibbles with Gibbles. Pennsylvania has a lot of potato chip companies in the market. And one of the things we discovered when we were visiting the American Freedom Convoy with Soup Mama's Kitchen, she had a box of donation of chips because she had made burgers and stuff and offered us some food. And I was like, oh, Nibble with Gibbles. Never had these before. And found out they're from Pennsylvania. And I was like, oh, wow. We actually drove by the plant on our way to Hagerstown. So we looked for them in our local grocery store, and we found one of our stores that had them. So that was kind of cool. Because I didn't know about them. And John Cook's like, I know where you are. LOL. Yeah. Good old Route 100.
Yeah, I'm not going in any particular direction that makes sense. I wasn't sure what we were doing next, so.
I figured we'd just take them home because it's so hot. Like, if we were to shut the car off, we're gonna get hot really fast because it's hot today. And I'm not a big fan of the heat.
Building stuff up here too.
What are they building now?
I don't know if this is part of this retirement community.
Huh. I don't know.
I know there's a retirement community up here on the right.
Yeah, it's really cool, American Girl, that we were able to find them in our grocery store because we had never heard of them before.
You never heard of them before.
Okay, I never heard of them before.
I gotta bring up that Nibble with Gibbles container I got in the cellar. Show you.
Well, I have a few less revolutions around the sun than you, so.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. It's good.
I haven't gotten out as much as you have either, unfortunately.
I got an entire revolution of Saturn on you.
Yeah. When I heard Zach speak on Saturday, and he was only 19, with how much he's done and how he's run for office, it's like it made me feel really old. I was like, I haven't done that much in my life. Now, admittedly, mine's mainly due to, ongoing health issues, but it still made me feel really, really old. I mean, he's done so much just being in high school.
Yeah, he gave a good speech.
John says a few fast food places I've gone to recently had no eat-in option, only drive-through. But not because of the Panda. They didn't have enough workers. It was midday.
Wow.
I know you didn't write Panda, but
I've seen that around here too.
Yeah, I don't understand it. It's really weird. I've gone into a few fast food places where it gets to be a line inside that they literally lock the doors, that nobody else can come inside to order.
Yeah, they just get overloaded.
And they short circuit. And I'm always very polite. I say, take your time. I'm not in a rush. Because, I tend to go in and say, hey, can you make it fresh? I don't mind waiting. Because let's be honest, fresh fries are way better than heat lamp fries. John says, I like fall. Yeah, I love fall too.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite season too.
American Girl says, nah, it's okay. You're doing a great job all the time. You're the best, American Girl. I'm trying my best. I took my own advice. When I said stop complaining about what's going on and actually start doing something, I took my own advice, and that's why I started doing live streaming and stuff. Like when we went to the convoys, I was like, well, the media's not going to cover it, so time to become the media. I'm not looking, to make a profit off of it. I'm just looking to record the history and, share the word. I know a lot of live streamers are always harping about donate, donate, donate. For me, I want to get the word out there. I want to wake up people and, get people to start using their brains again. See what's going on and then make your own opinion as to what you think, should be going on or happening, and, vote how you want to vote. But you need to know the information on both sides. Right now, we're only getting one very slanted side.
Legacy media is total propaganda.
Yep, I agree, American Girl. All you can do is do your best. And, that's why I said earlier today, we're working on these videos from the rally, but it's, this is all new to us. We've never had to do video processing and add a watermark, and unfortunately we've hit a few hiccups that we weren't expecting, so we're trying to troubleshoot it and get it up there as much as, as fast as we can. But we're not professionals. This is all new to us. Yeah, my dad has, background in audio engineering, but audio engineering is different than video engineering. When you add in the video part, it makes it a little more complicated.
A lot more complicated. You need a lot more horsepower.
Yeah. We probably should look at trying to get better gear, but better gear costs money. And I'm trying to do things as much as we can using free stuff, because it's hard. It's hard getting started up from the ground up.
Well, you've been able to improve your hardware some.
Yeah. Thankfully, some people have, given donations, which is very much appreciated, and that goes into upgrading the gear to try to have better setup. One of the things we definitely need to do is get more battery banks, though, because we almost ran out of power for our event on Saturday. If we hadn't shut off during the long breaks, we probably would have run out of power for running all the cooling for the fans.
Yeah, it was more the cooling than it was the phones themselves.
Yeah, because the fans eat up a lot of power. Because we didn't have any hard power at the event for streaming. The speakers and the stands, for that, the band, they had power, but we didn't have power. So I had to run everything on battery power, which is a lot when you're doing a 6-hour event and you're trying to cool 3 different devices with Peltier coolers, which eat up a lot of power. American Girl says it's a learning process. You're both awesome. And John says every day you're learning more. Yeah, absolutely. We're learning as we go. And we're getting better every time. It's amazing that we can even do this right now, that I'm talking to you guys. I'm using a free app that's streaming on 3 different platforms. And it's working. This is amazing.
We're going to work on a improved mount for the car here. Some better stabilization too.
If anybody has any good recommendations for a car mount, let me know, because the current one we have has some issues. It seems to have vibrational frequencies at idling for the car. It picks up on the camera, and certain highway speeds it vibrates too. I'd like to improve that, because I don't like putting you guys in the blender. I try to not put you guys in the blender if we can help it. I also noticed that on the band on Saturday, that they had the bass turned up so much that some of the stream was very vibrating, because it was literally vibrating through the floor. There wasn't anything I could do about it.
Are you sure?
Did you
feel it in the floor?
I could feel it in my feet. I could feel it in my seat.
Yeah, I'm just surprised. I guess they really packed the dirt in the horse arena.
Yeah, I could feel it.
So I guess that helped propagate it.
Yeah. I could feel it in my feet and through my seat. So I was like, if I'm feeling it, odds are the tripod's feeling it.
The band was really good.
Yeah, the band was phenomenal. I wish I had their name. I don't have their name right now. It was something in High Noon. I'll have to put it in the comments when I get home. But the band was phenomenal. I had a great conversation with several of the band members before the event, and it was awesome. They're actually hoping to have add some more bluegrass to their lineup. John Cook says our car mount has the same issues. Yeah, I'm wondering if it's just a general issue with car mounts, that they just have vibrational issues.
I do notice the car does have vibration issues.
I just wondered, because our car is kind of older.
Kinda.
440,000 miles on it.
Yeah, we just had 440,000 last night.
Yeah, so we've already gone to the moon and we're on our way back. So I don't like to blame the car on anything, because she's been very, very reliable. Yeah, I just referred to the car as a person.
You sure it's a she?
It's red. No, yeah, I guess I shouldn't assume it's gender. But anyway.
The car might be offended.
Yeah, the car might get offended and strand us.
It might be a they, them.
Yeah, it might be. Anyway, 440,000 miles and counting. It's been very, very reliable, but it is getting older, so it has more noise and vibration than it used to. So I don't know. Like right now, to me, it seems like it's shaking really bad, but I don't know how much of it's just the rough road, because the road's a little bit rougher, because this was fresh oil in the last year or so. I don't know.
There's a steep hill.
I'm trying to make it better for you guys, but I look on reviews for car mounts, and people complain that they all have issues, so I don't know what to believe.
There was a time I could ride my bicycle up this, but I got off and walk when I do it now. Of course, I haven't done it in a while, so... But I would still be doing it.
John says, wow, that's a lot of miles. Yeah. Our friend who works at Air Products, every time we ask him...
That's one of his first questions.
His first question out of his mouth
when he sees I got the car.
He's like, you still driving that thing? He's like, how many miles are on it? And we're like, a lot more than the last time we saw you. Yeah.
He laughs. He thinks it's funny.
It's been very reliable. It's never stranded us. So there was only one time where I had a little bit of a fuel pump issue that I guess you could say delayed you for a few hours.
Yeah, I was stuck. Fuel pump failed.
But I was able to hook you up with a local gas station that you hiked to, and the guy was amazing and got you.
I didn't have to hike to it. He drove and picked me up.
Oh, that's right. You did. That's right. I forgot about that.
He drove and picked me up.
You were going to hike to it, but he's like, I'll just drive out. You're not that far away.
So I bought a gas can. He sold gas cans.
Because we thought maybe it was ran out of gas. Too low.
I bought the 5-gallon one. He said, oh, you don't need to get one that big. I said, oh, no problem. I don't mind.
So yeah, it's like, you're helping me out, so.
And he drove me back. But that wasn't the problem.
Yeah. Turned out it was the fuel
But
pump.
he knew a mechanic, and he said, call this guy.
And that guy was awesome from what you told me.
Yeah, he came out. He was only maybe a mile down the road where his garage is, and he diagnosed it as the fuel pump wasn't working. So
You said he got right under the car and figured it all out. That's cool.
Yeah. He had to whack the gas tank, a couple of times to get the pump to go. He said, it'll fail again, but it should get you going. And it did.
You were able to get home, which was awesome.
Yeah, but getting the 5 gallons of gas, I had enough fuel. So I didn't have to worry about stopping and getting more fuel.
Yep.
If I'd put a gallon in, I might have needed to stop again.
Which would have been iffy. So we were very, very grateful for
The car did start a couple of times after that, but I didn't take it anywhere. It was just move the car around it to be able to replace the fuel pump on it.
It's much better getting stranded in your driveway than 40-some miles away from home.
That and the occasional flat tire that I guess we've all experienced at one point or another.
Yeah. I remember that bridge deck we got hit on, 80, coming out of New York City.
Oh, yeah, coming out of it on Interstate 80 coming out of New York City.
That was awful. That was a tire blowout.
We were a few miles down the road at that point.
Yeah. That was probably like the scariest time being in the car because we're in the middle of 4 lanes of traffic and we had to cross 2 lanes to get to the shoulder.
That was a chunk of bridge deck that was laying there on the road.
And there was no way to avoid it. We were trapped. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, fortunately it was right near an exit ramp, so we had a little bit wider shoulder where we could pull over. You never want a flat tire along a busy highway like that, but at least you had more room.
John, it's a 2000 Toyota Camry. And it's, what is it, Ellie?
I think so.
I think it's Ellie.
It's the 4-cylinder version.
We have the California model.
Yeah.
Of all things.
We bought it in Fogelsville, Pennsylvania.
And we found out there's 2 versions, the California one and the non-California one, because we actually went to visit a guy selling the exact same car, or at least we thought it was the exact same car. And then we looked under the hood and realized...
This is different.
We got a car on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we realized it don't look right. It looks different.
The exhaust system.
Yeah, so apparently we got California exhaust system.
Well, we found that out when we were replacing the oxygen sensor and found out that it wasn't an oxygen sensor.
What was it? I don't remember.
I don't recall, like flow sensor or something. It was not what we thought it was.
Oh, there's a bobtail pulling out.
Finally got to Old 22.
There's a Peterbilt. Peterbilt. Yeah, the car's been very reliable. I know it feels very weird for...
Oh, this is where they're
drill.
drilling. Yes, where the guy was going to drill.
Oh, that's funny.
That's why he pulled over.
I didn't realize that's where they were going. That's interesting. The drill is drilling there. For those that were wondering why we're talking about the drill, earlier this morning they pulled out in front of us when we were going the other way, and we weren't sure where they were going, and he put his blinkers on, so we watch out. I'm not sure what this guy's doing.
Trying to see.
Yeah, Service Electric's kind of blocking.
Truck's kind of blocking the view for them.
Yeah. The drill pulled out in front of us, and we're like, he put his blinkers on, and then the other guy was behind us, the other truck, and he's like, where are you going?
They're actually going into the field.
Yeah. Yeah, John says there's 22 and then there's old 22. Yeah.
Yep. This is the newest Old 22.
We much prefer it to 78 and 22 because less traffic. Less stress. Plus, it's actually all under construction right now, too. And it's going to be for the next several years because they're trying to build truck climbing lanes, and it's just a mess.
But I hear at least the toll bridge is off the table now.
At least for now. I won't be surprised if they try to bring it back in some other piece of legislation.
They're going to replace a bridge on the highway and make it a toll bridge.
The other ones make several of them. The one in Lenhartsville. I'm trying to think what the other ones were. I think there was 4 of them that they were looking at.
If I were to run for state representative, that would be one of my things on the agenda. Ban PennDOT from being able to toll anything.
Even the turnpike?
I wouldn't mind getting rid of that too.
I heard a lot of people actually don't even pay their tolls. No, they switched it over to the camera system.
Yeah.
And they mail the bills. Apparently, people are just ignoring the bills. I don't remember what article it was. It's actually a good thing we're not on the highway right now. It's crawling.
Yeah. Familiar sight.
78 can get crazy. Definitely a lot less stress here. Yeah, for sure. if they're doing something with the construction. And that's why it's crawling.
I'm afraid that when they're done with all that construction, the road will still be too small.
Yeah. We might have to move. It's getting...
I just think with all the warehouses getting built in this whole region, that 4 lanes is not going to be enough for Interstate 78 here.
I feel like we're being invaded by warehouses.
Our Department of Transportation seems like it's about 30 years behind on designing road capacity.
John says turnpike tolls are going up again in January. It seems like they're always going up. They never go down. We avoid it if we can help ourselves.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Same with toll bridges. We try to avoid those too. Though there's occasionally there have been a few trips that to go the toll bridge then.
Well, it's kind of hard to cross the Hudson when you're going east. I think there might be one bridge that isn't tolled. I think the Bear Creek crossing might not be on US Route 6.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up.
I know we've crossed at Newburgh a number of times, and it wasn't that bad. Versus, say, crossing any of the bridges in New York City.
Yeah, New York City is probably really expensive.
I know the one time we went up to Connecticut, we drove up to the Tappan Zee Bridge, or whatever it's called now, and it was a bit cheaper up there rather than cross at the George Washington Bridge.
Yeah, I don't know what they renamed the Tappan Zee to. I forget.
They replaced the bridge.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Well, Alice, if you're watching, thank you. Alice just sent me a cash app thanking me for all that I do.
Nice.
Never heard the sound effect before, so I was like, what is that?
It's like, are you mining Bitcoin on that? You know what the Bitcoin miner used to do? Make it sound like coins dropping?
Yeah. John says the tolls to New York City and Long Island are nuts. Yeah, I can imagine. I've never been to Long Island before. I always tell this the story of most people don't realize with Lyme disease that we played with it off of Plum Island, which is off the coast there. And, people don't realize that infected ticks came from Plum Island over to Old Lyme, Connecticut. Some people also saw it happening, that they were seeing signs of it in Long Island as well, where people were getting arthritis conditions. But it got most notoriety in Old Lyme, Connecticut, because it was happening in children. They were getting rheumatoid arthritis out of the blue. They couldn't figure it out. The doctor started looking into it, and that's when they figured it out and ended up finding out about the spirochete borealis verdigifori by William Verdigifori. Diagnosed it as Lyme disease.
Was he the guy that did a lot of the experimentation in the lab?
Yeah. If you really want to read a good book about it, about the experiments and stuff, there's 2 books actually. One is Bitten by Chris Newby and Lab 257. I forget the author's name off the top of my head. But those are really good. And on a side note, for those of you who were along the ride earlier, I went to my podiatrist today. I actually met someone that worked on Plum Island in my podiatrist's waiting room one time when my doctor was running behind. I was reading one of my Lyme disease books, and he sat down next to me. We both had our masks pulled down, and he's like, "Oh, you know that came from a lab?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." So then we started talking about it, and it was really cool. He actually worked on the island and told me stories. It was really cool.
Was he actually involved in the research?
No, not at the time, but later on. So like he got to see things in the labs and stuff. And he had a friend who worked there as well. He actually walked all over the island. It was part of his job. He worked security.
I know we watched a video documentary about this. Under the 8 Ball, I think it was called.
Does this guy have a Santa?
A Santa.
A Santa and a tractor inflatable.
Yeah.
It is August, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know some people do Christmas in July kind of thing, but it's a little early for Santa on a tractor, but it's cute. John says it's like $8 to cross over into Long Island. Wow. That is is that each way or just, like once and that's it?
You know the slogan. You have to pay to get out of New Jersey.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
And it's true.
But I didn't know because it's Long Island if you have to pay to get off the island too.
Not to come back into New Jersey.
I guess so.
I guess I could be wrong.
But yeah, Under the 8 Ball was a really good documentary that talked about it. Unfortunately, it kind of suffered the same fate as some of these other documentaries where they got censored. And because he didn't get major funding, it's almost impossible to find a copy of it now.
Is it essentially unavailable?
Yeah, you can't find it. I haven't been able to find it. They managed to get it off the internet. I don't know how. I think we have a copy of it somewhere. Like I literally had to get a copy. And I was in a big support group. I still am. I help run it for Lyme disease patients, and we basically were rotating the movie around. So like we mailed the DVD to the next person on the list.
Is that what we did?
Yeah. So like there was only a few copies, and that's how we were moving. I don't know who has it now, but I don't have it anymore. John says it's free to get out. LOL.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. I didn't know. I hear the roads are horrible though on Long Island. Our one friend from Philly said that they're always bad.
Like physically bad shape?
Yeah. I don't know if that's still true or not.
I couldn't tell you. Bill O'Reilly lives out on Long Island, doesn't he?
I don't know.
I know lots of people do.
Yeah, I don't know.
They are widening 78 on this stretch going east for a truck climbing lane. It's pretty long grade going up here. There's not a lot of room here between the new and the old.
Yeah, like this part here at night is a little bit creepy because it feels like the traffic's coming right at you with the headlights. It's very narrow right here.
There used to be a house here on the right. You can imagine living there.
Yeah, I remember there used to be a teepee.
Yeah, they had a teepee in their yard.
And they had chickens too, but I think people hid the chickens because they seem to vanish. John says the road here is good.
Yeah, the state fixed this highway up around the time of the construction. I guess for a while it had been decommissioned. It was no longer a state highway, and then they took it back. And they did a lot of work on it.
Unless he's referring to Long Island.
Oh, well, that could be.
I'm not sure where you're located, John. I think you told me before, but I think I forgot.
We've got the Legacy Media driving behind us.
Oh, which one?
Channel 69.
Oh.
pickup truck's angry at my speed.
He's mad we're going the speed limit.
I was actually going a little above it. Not there, but it was supposed to be 35 through that little town.
He should be on the other road, Mr. Pickup Truck. They say that's like one of the biggest reasons people are crashing on the old 22 is driving too fast. John says he's near Pottstown now. Yeah, I thought you were. Yeah, I thought you were in Pennsylvania, but I wasn't sure where.
Channel 69 News following us on Old 22.
I don't know. Maybe they're going to cover an event.
They don't like the highway either?
Unless, I don't think there's any event in Leonardsville. At least not that I know of.
Need to do a pharmacy run, or is that later?
We can do it now or later. It's up to you. Though I think don't you need the receipt to deal with the refunds?
Oh, for the overcharge at Redner's?
Yeah.
If we're gonna do that, we could do it later, or
yeah, I guess do it later.
Do we need other stuff while we're out?
I'm sure we need something.
Make up a store list. He's still coming this way.
I'm surprised. That means he's gonna be really mad going up the hill.
Oh, he'll just be able to pass.
John says, on to Cabela's.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is the way to Cabela's, yes. Cabela's is really awesome. I haven't been there in a while, but it's really cool. They got a lot of cool stuff. They got hunting stuff, rifle stuff, fish aquariums, camping. They got some half decent camping stuff. I got backpacking stuff there back in the day for Girl Scouts when we went backpacking.
Oh, he took this way because the other highway's got traffic problems. I bet.
Yeah. Remember we said it was slow.
Yeah.
So that's probably why he took it. Yeah.
And he gets stuck behind me. How annoying.
That's because, our car's got a lot of miles on. We don't like to push it hard on the hills. So many people gun it really hard on the hills. Maybe, how there's a pull-off up here?
Yeah?
You could just end it up here if you want.
Yeah, we can pull over.
Get a view of the mountain.
That is a nice view.
Yeah. Yeah, Cabela's is an awesome place, yeah. I think they're now called Bass Pro Shops, though. It's no longer Cabela's.
Yeah, another company that has sold out to the big boys.
Yeah, just turn up at the gravel and face that way. Show the mountains.
Yeah, this is a scenic spot. We'll be able to get a view between all the signage here.
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to show you guys the mountains. Look at that view.
It's Pulpit Rock, just to the left of center.
It looks really cool with the clouds right now, the way they're rolling.
You can't quite see the pinnacle, but it's to the right. There's an intervening part of the ridge that blocks the view from here. Down on the left side, the little dip there. That's where the Hamburg Reservoir is.
Our astronomy club actually has some things up there at Pulpit Rock. We have some telescopes up there, which is really cool. We call it our, quote, dark sky site compared to the Allentown location on South Mountain, which is much more light polluted. So if you're into astronomy, it's cool. You can also hike the, what's the name of the trail? Appalachian Trail. It goes out to the Pinnacle as well. Pinnacle is what I was trying to think of. Blue Rocks. You can also hike down to Blue Rocks as well.
Actually, can we see that?
Is that Blue
yeah,
Rocks?
that is
yeah,
Blue
it's
Rocks.
part of Blue Rocks there.
You can see it. It's towards the right end of the screen there. There's a little patch.
So if you look above the barn, like the top of the barn on the right, like the big barn, you'll see like kind of like a house.
There's a house up on the hill there.
And then there's like a bare patch on the mountain. That's part of Blue Rocks.
That's Blue Rocks, yeah.
John's like, so picturesque. Yeah, I thought it would be a good place to end the stream because we're getting close to getting home. So we're going to wrap things up so we can enjoy our lunch and get back to video editing.
Yeah.
Or I should say encoding, because we're not really editing it at this point. We're trying to get the encoding to work.
Yeah,
So-
that's kind of the next, well, I think maybe water the garden and then get back to the,
Oh, that's right. We got to water everything because it's a drought.
I can see if the latest trick worked. Or if we're going to have to try something else.
I pray the latest thing you did work for the encoding.
Yeah, because we really like to get that up there.
Yeah.
Even if we got to do it in parts.
Well, thanks for coming along, John. Thanks for American Girl. He says, I've been to Blue Rocks. Yeah, Blue Rocks is really cool. They have a campground and everything.
Yeah, they do.
I went there as well.
When we would go up to Pulpit Rock to do work up there, we used to do that a lot when Gwen was younger. And we'd have a lot of people come up for the day. You know, they'd hike up from the campground. You know, we talked to people that were walking by. It's like, oh, we're camping at Blue Rocks.
Yeah.
And they'd take what they called the Blue Trail and would end up coming out on our site up there on the top at Pulpit Rock.
I really enjoyed going up there on those Saturdays. It was really cool talking to all the people that would hike through. And then, of course, they got a kick out of seeing the observatories.
Yeah.
I give them a little tour. I mean, I was, 8 years old, 7 years old.
Yeah.
I didn't know a lot about the observatories, but, people just seeing the big telescopes, it's just like, that's so cool. And it is. So, yeah, thanks for coming along. We really enjoyed chatting with you, and we're going to enjoy our sandwiches and get back to video encoding, and we'll stay in touch. So have a good rest of your afternoon, and thanks for coming along. And thanks for enjoying the view.